welcome to Believers IAS Academy. Today we are going to do a special video on this person, Father Stan Swamy. So his name has surfaced over the news for over a year right now. So who is this person basically? So he's an 84-year-old activist. He's a Jesuit priest and he's also a tribal activist. And he has recently died in a hospital waiting for bail. So he has been hospitalized on May 30 following the direction of the Bombay High Court and was put on ventilators support on Sunday. So who was he? So he was a Jesus priest, it's part of a Catholic church, and then he's also a tribal rights activist based in Jharkhand. And he had worked in the state over 3 decades fighting for tribal rights. So fighting for the land rights, forest rights, labor rights of tribal people, that is scheduled tribe people, right? And this includes questioning the non-implementation of the 5th schedule. So what does the 5th schedule of the Indian Constitution say? So in 5th schedule deals with the administrative provisions regarding the scheduled areas and scheduled tribal areas. So this will be in the states, in the mainland states, excluding the states of Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. The rest all states will be scheduled areas with states with scheduled areas will be mentioned in 5th schedule. In 6th schedule you will have the provisions of all these northeast states with scheduled areas: Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Manipur. So these will include states like Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, Gujarat, Chhattisgarh and so on. There are like 10 states that is included in 5th schedule. Those states which have scheduled areas, the administrative provisions regarding those areas will be mentioned in 5th schedule. And the 4th part of, the 4th section of this 5th schedule talks about setting up a tribal advisory council in each of these areas as the president directs. And they should have only not more than 20 members, and out of this 20 members, 3/4 of them should be the members of the representatives of tribal communities who are in this state legislative assembly. And Stan Swamy has actually questioned the non-implementation of the 5th schedule of the constitution, which stipulated setting up of a tribal advisory council. It's not set up everywhere with members solely of the Adivasi community, because we should have, when there is this tribal advisory council, we should have people who are from this tribal community itself, because they know better, they know what they need, they know what their concerns are. So it is very much required that we have the people from tribal community representing them. So other than that, he has filed public interest petition in the High Court for under trial prisoners to be released on a personal bond and the conduct of a speedy trial. So whenever someone is arrested, it's a human rights violation to not have speedy trial, to extend the trial for a longer period of time, and for that time that person will be suffering in the jails. So in order for he had fought against that, he had given public interest petition, and he had also sought the appointment of a judicial commission to investigate the reason for delays in the trial process. So what happens is there are a lot of wrongful accusation when it comes to tribal areas, because there is a lot of exploitation going over there, and whoever that protests, whoever that is standing in the way of these corporates and all will be taken away. And a lot of false accusation has been made on tribal people, and that will include the connection between Maoist banned organizations like CPI, Maoist and much more. And also Swamy's work also involved opposition to the setting up of a land bank, which he argued would free up land belonging to the community to set up small and big industries. And Swamy's statement says that his work involved expressing dissent with several policies of the government and laws enacted in violation of the constitution. So yes, basically his work goes against the government. It is dissent against the government, and we know that the government is very popular for curbing the dissent with laws like UAPA and the section in IPC section, using IPC sections, they have a habit of doing that. So why has he been arrested? He has been arrested by the NIA, alleging that he have links with the banned CPI Maoist organization. So basically saying that he's a part of insurgency group. And so the NIA has raided his house, collected his documents and the computer and even some music cassettes. And they have said to have found evidences that is that connects him to the Maoist organization. And he is also connected. The arrest has been made in connection with the Elgar Parishad Bhima Koregaon case. So this case, before talking about this case, we have to know what is Bhima Koregaon. Why is Bhima Koregaon so popular? Like, what's the importance of this Bhima Koregaon? So Bhima Koregaon is a battle between British and the Peshwas back in the 1880. Okay. So what happened was, Peshwa's army was dominated by upper caste, the privileged upper caste people, and they also had the Maha community, the Dalit community in their army. But because the Bajirao II, the leader of this army, has actually insulted the Maha community, they were also removed from the army. They later on joined the British forces. During this battle, that is Bhima Koregaon battle, the Maha community, the Dalit community, fought on the side of British, and this battle actually, as a result of this battle, Peshwas were defeated. Alright. Now this battle is part of the Third Anglo-Maratha War. So you have to remember this. Okay, Bhima Koregaon battle is part of the Third Anglo-Maratha War. So this happened. Right. So this is considered as a victory over the upper caste by Dalits. So even Baba Sahib Ambedkar has visited this site, and actually this asserts pride to this community, right? So what happened is that on January 1, 2018, so this happened in 1818, so after 200 years, so 200th anniversary of the Battle of Bhima Koregaon was going to be celebrated. And what happened was that there was violence, and with vehicles of those assembled being burned and assaults on them. So violence has occurred during the celebration of this memory. And first, initially the FIR was filed against an Hindutva group, but later on the Pune police filed an FIR against this Elgar Parishad, which is an organization which take care of this program. And as a result of this, like around 16 activists were arrested. Dalit activists were arrested, and connected to this also Stan Swamy was also arrested. So this is the case. So we look at some of the works of Stan Swamy. Firstly, he worked for the release of tribal youths from imprisonment, often in cases where they were falsely accused. Now, if you look at it, his study, he has also conducted some study, and his study found that 97% of under trials interviewed said that allegations that they were linked to Maoists were false, and 96% of them earned less than 5,000 a month. Less than 5,000 a month, which means these people are unprivileged. They are not, having a proper income too. So 97% under trials said that these allegations were false. So he was supporting these tribal youths who were falsely accused, and he took up the causes of tribals marginalized after the lands has been taken over for dams, mines, township, often without their consent. So this is common thing that happens in scheduled areas, tribal areas. What happens is there will be corporates, there will be people who are going to exploit the tribal people, exploit their unawareness, lack of awareness in them, lack of knowledge, and like that they will be taking up their land, and as a result they won't be having places to reside. So their lands has been taken away from them. So for their rights, for their land rights, for their forest rights, for their labor rights, Stan Swamy has been fighting. And he also lobbied to have the Panchayat Extension to Scheduled Areas Act 1996 in order to implement this, so that we have more voice of the tribal people. Their voice is heard. They can administer themselves. So in order for the implementation of it, he has worked. And another of his movement which sought implementation was the Supreme Court order. So the Supreme Court had given an order previously which states that owner of the land is also the owner of subsoil minerals. Which says when you own a land, and let's say there are by subsoil minerals, it means what lies beneath the soil, like whatever mineral, iron ore, coal, whatever. So he is going to be the owner of those subsoil minerals. So this is actually against the mining lobbies, right? Mining barons. So corporates which are into mining actually try to exploit the tribal people in order to make profits. So this is not really going well with the Supreme Court order which says owner of the land is also the owner of subsoil minerals. As a result, Stan Swamy is his movement is going to support the implementation of this Supreme Court order, and as a result it is going to pitch him against these mining barons who have a stronghold of the state's economy. So that also put him against the people in power. And also, if you look at false accusations and jailing of tribal people, 31% of under trials and a little over a third of the convicts were tribal. So the percentage of tribals in jail was far higher than the population of the population. So it means that when you look at the proportion, like if you take the general population, the tribal community will be a smaller part of that population, right? But when you compare it to the people in jail, so tribal community, 31% of under trials are tribal people. So he was fighting against all these things, and as a result he came across powerful people, and as a result he had to he was accused, he was taken under arrest by using UAPA. UAPA, we have discussed about UAPA, Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, a lot of times. If you do not know much about it, you can go to our videos and search. So UAPA is a law that resembles the POTA and TADA, which was previously existing, which were removed because of its vague provisions, because of state misusing these laws. So it was like another version of it. UAPA continued, and many similar provisions that existed in POTA and TADA appeared in UAPA later on, and many vague provisions exist, and as a reason the state keeps misusing this law in order to suppress the dissent, in order to suppress the criticism of the government. So you can go back and watch those videos. So that's all about it. For more such videos, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also follow us on social media. We are active on Instagram, Facebook, and you can join our Telegram channel where you will be getting all the updates related to UPSC. And do follow our, you do visit our website, believersis.com, where you will get to see the kind of course structure that we provide, and also much more blogs, daily current affairs, editorials, and everything will be available to you free. Thanks for watching the video.